guys, it's Tuesday. I hope everyone's day is off to an amazing start. Thanks so much for stopping in today, guys. Today I wanted to come to you really quickly with my 5 top tips for a bright home during the fall and even winter months. All right, so depending on the part of the region, the part of the world you are in, it's fall. And so with fall, we know that signifies that winter is coming. For my Game of Thrones fans out there, you know what, you get that. All right, anyway. So winter will be here before we know it, right? And if you are like me, when winter comes, you know, you also have the beautiful holidays during the winter months. But for me, winter signifies also darkness. All right, it's going to get darker a lot quicker. The days are going to be a lot shorter, and I just get really depressed, honestly, during the winter months. So for me, I like to have a lot of light in my home. All right, so that's tip number 1, lighting. And
so I think I overheard you talking about lighting and keeping the house light.
And see, let me just stop you guys. I knew when he heard that I was going to do a video today on, you know, how we keep the house nice and bright. I knew he was planning something. All right, Eric handles all the lighting and the electronic stuff here in the house.
I'm the property brother. It's the return.
And then see, again, this is, where's your head at? Do you want to do this?
Yeah, let me, since we're talking about lighting, which is my area of expertise, not yours.
Here.
Let me do what I do.
Here. Have a seat. Have a seat.
All right, guys, so just to pick up where my wife left off, you know, in the winter months, as she was saying, the shorter days can really have an impact on your attitude and your mood. There's actually a term for it. I think it's called seasonal affective disorder, or SAD, I believe is the acronym. So, you know, that's one reason I have great lighting. Another reason I have great lighting that I'm really big on is home security, right? So it's not only a mood thing, it's a home security thing, especially during the winter months when it gets dark really early and then we start to buy Christmas presents. So there's a lot of valuables in our house, right? So a lot of reasons to have great lighting in these winter and fall months. And when you start to talk about great lighting, I think you have to talk about LED light bulbs. Now, just a little bit of history, since, you know, this is our 3rd home, and this is the first home that we purchased where we really paid a lot of attention to the lighting, mainly because of the advent of LED lights. And I'm a big fan of LED lights, and I'm sure most of you have started to buy LED lights. If you haven't, I think a good place to start with LED lighting is on the outside of your home, because, you know, the outside of your home, 1, it's a pain to go out and change outdoor light bulbs. Nobody likes to do that. And 2, those are really the lights that you need to leave on almost constantly, especially at night. And because LEDs don't use a lot of energy, they don't burn out, you can really leave them on and not feel as guilty or worry about your electric bill. There are also some kind of unique innovations with LED lights, a lot of things that you can do with traditional lights. So for example, this is a security light that we bought called the EverBright. And I think this has been featured on those on TV ads and infomercials. And I looked up some reviews on this. This is a really neat innovation because it's a solar powered light. But if you've ever experienced like traditional solar power lights, they're not that powerful. But with LED lights, because they use so little energy, the solar lights actually work, and they work a lot better. And this one actually has a motion detector attached to it. So great for outdoor home security. You can attach this to just about any outdoor or indoor surface, and when somebody walks by, the light will shine. So this is a great security feature. So this cost, and we're going to talk about cost next, this was around, I believe, $10. I got it from Home Depot, but I think it'll run you around $10. And I think the thing when you talk about cost with LED lights, they go on sale a lot, right? So I wouldn't necessarily recommend you go out to the store and buy, you know, 40 LED lights for your whole house. Look for sales, right, at Lowe's, Home Depot, the grocery store. When they're on sale, catch them on sale. They are still more than traditional light bulbs, but theoretically you are making your money back. When you think about an LED light bulb, you know, these are supposed to last for years and years and years. They're also energy efficient, so you're not changing them as much. And they do last a long time. Now, I gotta be honest with you, you will get some faulty ones. I have had some of these that have lasted maybe a year and they've blown out. So you will get some faulty lights occasionally. And so this is just one example. This is kind of more the traditional light bulb shape. Obviously they come in just about every shape and size. I believe this box, I caught this on sale at Home Depot. I think this box of bulbs cost me around $5 on sale. And this I think has a, yeah, this has a 5-year warranty. So technically, you know, I talked about these do blow. You might want to keep the receipt just in case you get a faulty one, because you can return these. Again, all shapes and sizes. That was kind of the traditional light bulb shape. This is more of kind of the candelabra shape. So you'll see me install these on like your candelabra shaped fixtures and bulbs. Floodlights. So LED floodlights are a great choice. Obviously we use those both indoors and outdoors. Again, a great outdoor choice for home security. Another thing we're going to talk about from a home security perspective is automation, right? You're seeing more and more automation in homes where you can turn on your lights or control your thermostat from your cell phone. So the ability to turn on lighting even when you're not at home, I think is a great thing to do. Again, especially during the holidays when we're out shopping or at the malls, but we still need to have kind of that unpredictable lighting both indoors and outdoors with our homes.
What is this guy wearing?
Why are you showing my Walmart slides with the, like, is that how you're doing me on film? Is that what we're doing?
Go ahead.
So we're gonna install our first set of light bulbs. One thing I wanna point out too, notice these are daylight bulbs. I think, you know, if you go back to kind of the traditional incandescent old school light bulbs, a lot of us would buy like the soft white. That was kind of the default color. But we become real big fans of daylight. It's a little bit brighter. It's almost a white light instead of a yellow light. But especially when it's darker, if you're in a darker environment like a basement or just there's not a lot of light, I actually think, and my wife is a huge fan of the daylight bulbs. So really simply here, I just put in a daylight bulb in this lamp. And this is one of the devices where we can actually turn this light off and on just using our app. So we've got a security app that allows us to kind of turn on the light remotely. So I just did that with my cell phone. You notice no hands were involved. And I'll just tap again and turn it off. And home security experts will tell you, the police will tell you, lighting is probably even more important than having a home alarm or good locks. You gotta have great lighting. So just to give you guys an example of the difference between soft white and daylight, this lighting fixture, I think we bought it, actually came with the light bulb. So these are all soft white, and I'm gonna turn it on. So you can see it's more of a yellow light, and it's actually probably more dramatic in person than on what you're gonna see on YouTube, but it is probably coming off that, you know, this is a little bit of a yellow kind of light, which is exactly what we don't want. So now we switch to the daylight bulbs. Really dramatic difference. Again, I'm sure it's coming off on camera, but if you could see this in person, it's a really dramatic change. Less of a yellow light, and again, I think the yellow light, you know, might work okay during the summer months, but during the winter months when it's really dark or for really dark areas, to me, the white light comes out a lot more. So guys, now we're in the pantry, and you know, one of the unique things about, you know, pantries and closets, you get these really closed in dark spaces. And this is another area where LED lights can really be helpful. One of the things you can do when you buy LED lights is there's a lot more flexibility in terms of brightness. And on the box, you'll see it called lumens. So if you're in a dark area, and one of the things we were concerned about here is we originally had kind of a traditional bulb, and it just wasn't brightening up the pantry enough. And you really need to be able to see in here to be able to get your utensils and your food out. So my wife wanted it really bright in here. So we went back and got a really specialized light bulb that was really, really bright. This light had really high lumens and was a little bit more expensive, but the brightness in here made the pantry a lot more usable. So when you've got those dark areas or those big closets or those utility rooms, but maybe there's only one little small light fixture, you can do a lot with really bright LED light bulbs to brighten up the space.
This is the one he just switched out. This is the original one, and you can actually kind of see the difference in the lighting. This one over here on the left looks like a star. It's so bright. This one over here, although bright, is a lot more dull.
Yeah, that's that soft white.
Yeah, that's the soft white light.
So fun fact, guys, and especially those of you that have like children that need to do science projects, have them do a science project on LED lights, because it really is an interesting technology. And you know, one of the things that you'll notice, The reason I have on gloves, these lights get very hot. These old-fashioned incandescent lights.
So those are the original ones.
These are the original. Now, the reason these lights get hot, that's a sign of their inefficiency, right? You've got electricity going through this filament creating light, but it's also burning off a lot of heat, which you don't want hot lights. That's just energy that's going to waste. So the fact that LED lights don't get hot is a sign that they're more efficient. They're not using the electricity to create heat. Most of the electricity is going to create the light itself.
And that's why those original ones burn out a lot faster.
Exactly, they're burning out the filament on the inside.
Yeah.
And an LED light can last, we've got some in here that are rated to last like 18 years.
Yeah.
So it is an interesting kind of technology. And guys, technically we should have the lights off while I'm doing this. So I'm kind of violating some safety rules.
Look how bright. Again, that's the one he just switched out on. This time it's your right, that one right there. And then over here, this one on the left is the old one.
So guys, in terms of outdoor lighting, we had these lights installed recently, just to add a little bit more outdoor lighting. These are also LED lights. We'll actually come back later on tonight and show you what these look like in the dark. And then I'm going to install this motion detector solar powered LED light. And I'm just going to really just screw it into the other side of these columns. So these will be good for kind of security if somebody walks by. We also get a lot of raccoons and stuff back here, so hopefully this will help scare the raccoons and the other pests we get away. All right guys, so it is dusk in Atlanta here. It is about, I think 7:30, so it's not quite pitch black yet, but honestly I don't want to be out here when it's pitch black. I'm tired. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you the back light. So these lights are actually wired in. These are our LED lights that we have installed on our back kind of patio under the porch here. So we've got them up here on the columns. And again, those are hardwired into the house on a timer. And then we have these that are going up the stairs here. And these are all, again, LED bulbs. And then these lights here, these are the solar powered LEDs that I showed you earlier. I just kind of nailed those into the columns there. So they're on the other side of the columns, kind of facing the backyard here. And they're not on now. Right now they're kind of on standby mode, so they're not all the way on. And they've got the motion detector, so as I walk by you can see it gets brighter, right? So it's detecting obviously my motion there. And then way up there on the corner of the house is just an LED outdoor floodlight. And again, this thing is actually 3 levels up, so very difficult to change that light bulb. So that's one of the reasons I got LED for those. So those should last really years and years, and I don't have to worry about, you know, trying to get up out of that window right there to the left of the light, or you know, get a really tall ladder to change those, because that can be really dangerous. And these are, of course, the candelabra lights that are just over our garage door here. These are also, of course, LED. We got 3 LED candelabras. And again, to try to change these, I could do it with a ladder, but I have to almost get on the top rung to change these. So, you know, nice to have LEDs that aren't going to blow out anytime soon. And then last but not least, we've got some spotlights here that are shining back on the house. If we were to actually show the front of the house, there's a whole row of spotlights, and you can kind of see how the yard is lit up, even though it's just about pitch black. The yard's pretty well lit up with the landscape lighting and spotlights that are on the house. So again, a great, you know, kind of security measure to have all your windows and doors very well lit here in the evening.
All right, sorry for that interruption, guys. Hope it was helpful. Eric is like a jack of all trades. He's really handy, and as you can see, I hope you guys saw that he is very passionate about, you know, taking care of our home. Okay, but all right, back to my list. All right, so tip number 2, I think it goes hand in hand with the lighting, guys, and it is going to be the paint color. I can't count the number of times you guys have asked in the comments, Tan, what color is that on your walls? I don't know, guys, it's just some shade of gray. But I think it is actually the shade of gray that really helps to illuminate the rooms here in the house. It is a very, I think, soft shade of gray. It is a gray that complements all of the other pieces of decor, the furniture that we have here in the house. It also goes with the trim. Not sure if you guys can see that currently. Well, you can see it a little bit over there, So choosing paint colors and trims that are light, of course they look great in the summer months, the spring and summer months, but as we get into the months where the days are going to be a lot shorter, like I mentioned, if you have really bright paint colors, and I don't mean bright paint colors like orange or red or anything like that, I would absolutely try to stay away from those colors. But your softer colors like your off-whites and here like we have in the house, just various shades of gray are really going to complement the pieces that you bring in and also help to make your home feel warm, cozy, and absolutely bright during the winter months. Tip number 3, guys, for really keeping your home nice and bright and I think happy and cheery during these dark winter months that are sure to come is going to be window treatments. We have 0 window treatments here in our house. All right, and when I say window treatments, I mean curtains, shades, things like that. We chose to keep a really open concept for our window treatments, meaning none. All right, we have shutters on the front side of the house. Shutters can be a little bit more expensive, so we put the expensive stuff on the front of the house, and then on the back side of the house, with the exclusion of the family room here, we do have the shutters here, but upstairs on the back side of the house, guys, we just have regular old blinds. The color that you choose for your blinds is also going to make a huge difference. You can get the darker colors, but again, you know, that might look great in the summertime, but when winter rolls in, that dark color that you have on your windows is going to translate into a really dark house when the days get shorter. Okay, so we've decided just keep our windows nice and open, letting in as much daylight that we can hope for during the winter months. So that's gonna be tip number 3. All right, guys, and so 4 and 5, tip 4 and 5 are gonna go hand in hand. So that's going to be decor and clutter. All right, so the decor, the pieces, the accessories that you use to put in your home, guys, are really going to translate into whether or not during the winter months your home comes off as light and airy and bright or really cluttered, dark, dingy, and dull. All right, so you guys know that here in the house, Eric and I really believe in minimalistic decorating, and so we really try to use pieces that are going to absolutely complement the hardscapes in the house, the countertops, the bookshelves, the built-ins. We want to add accessories in that will absolutely complement those spaces, but we don't want to overdo it. You know, as let's say, for example, the island. Let's take the island here in the kitchen, for example. I know several, you know, maybe a couple of years ago, I had the debate with you guys. I wanted to know whether or not I needed to put something here on the island in the kitchen, and we kind of went back and forth in the comments. Several of you said, you know, it looks kind of dull and boring, just empty like that. And there were those of you who said, you know what, you need to put something, you don't need to put anything up there, just leave it like it is. It really opens up the space and just makes it look really clean. And so what I finally decided on doing was just leaving it open. And like many of you suggested and, you know, agreed on, when you walk into the kitchen area, it just looks really light and bright. The island is really big, but I don't think we needed anything on it. You know, some of you do have a few pieces on your island, and if you think it works for you, absolutely perfect. But for me, I just think having an open concept to not only the kitchen but to other rooms in the house, not filling things up with too many decor pieces. You know, guys, I love going to Home Goods, and it's like a trap. Okay, you go in there and you see so many nice shiny pieces and you want to put them in your home, but you can't overdo it. All right, and so during the winter months, overdoing it, what looks great in the summertime doesn't look all that great in the winter in your home, because again, with winter comes the darker days. Your home is darker for longer periods of time, and if you have too much clutter, that can translate into a dark home. Well, that is it, guys. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. My five tips on how to brighten up your home for the winter months. I'm telling you guys, if you're cranky during the winter months, look at the 5 tips that I've given you and see if you can make adjustments to those, and I promise you it'll make your mood a lot lighter, a lot brighter. You'll be easier to live with in your home during the winter months. And so until next time, guys, thanks so much for stopping in. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye, guys.